I think we got super immersed in our first D&D campaign. Like we really locked in. All of our players were like doing the voices, getting fully immersed in the world. And I think we just realized what an amazing experience it is to just get lost in a fantasy world with your friends. And I think when we were coming down from that campaign finishing, we felt a real need to find a way to get back into that fantasy world, a way to get lost in those crazy worlds again. And since we were having some serious scheduling issues, we decided that it would be cool to throw ourselves into more of a physical world. I think that's where the dice came in, a way to build something that felt like a tangible piece of the fantasy world. We wanted to bring that into the real world with us and share it with all of our friends. It's way too late to be shooting this. We've had a full day of shooting, trying to grab as much content as we can, but we're here. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is James.
I'm David.
And we are the two co-founders of Folkwyn Hall. So today we're going to run through a couple questions, just so that people can get to know us, to show that there's actually two people behind all the dice and all the products that you see, and it's not some Temu stuff, and it's not some AI stuff. That we are real people, and we are trying to make a difference, trying to make cool products for everyone. We're still early on, but what moment made you realize this product was becoming something real?
I'm gonna hit you with a real curveball. When we did our Halloween giveaway, I think that moment was kind of crazy, kind of knuckin' futs, if you will, because it was, you came here and we had like a crazy idea. We were like, hey, Halloween is happening. I think it was like 2 weeks away, if that. Yeah, it was like 2 weeks more or less. So we're all together and we're like, hey, Halloween's coming up. What's something cool we can do? So we like thought about some stuff and we were like, hey, why don't we do a giveaway? But I was like, I don't want to just give away like our normal like range of dice. Like let's like do something Halloween-y, but like unique to how we kind of, brand things and design things. So we decided we like design like these special D6s with a little twist on our logo. So the logo is like the normal logo, but had the cat had like a little cute witch hat, which I was like, that's like really cool. So we settled on that. We're like, okay, awesome. Like, let's figure out the colors. We like iterated a bit and we're like, okay, we like these 3 different designs. Let's go with that. And then in order to do that giveaway, we needed to like film a bunch of stuff, release a couple posts.
And make the dice. So we actually had to manufacture the dice.
I don't know about you, but for me it was like the craziest, funnest 2 weeks, because it's just like, okay, we gotta do this, all right, we got this, here are the dice, all right, sick.
Yeah, I think it was like 12 o'clock on the 31st.
Yeah.
We were like, the giveaway is open, like da-da-da.
Yeah.
But we went through a lot. We went through the whole design process. We went from creating masters, getting them resin printed, making the molds, testing the colorways, finishing the dice, taking product photos, opening a giveaway on Instagram, getting people to enter, and then selecting a winner, all in the space of like 2 weeks. And that was like a whole bunch of work. But I think when we came out of that, we were like really chuffed at what we could achieve in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And at the quality that we could do it at as well. I mean, the pictures came out great. The people were super happy with the dice when they got them.
A funny moment I remember when we were actually filming the product shots was like, we didn't have like a proper smoke machine or anything. So we were like, how can we get like a cool like wisp of flame? So we had to like hot wire the vape because it didn't work properly. We had a vape, we're like hot wire. We're like, okay, we just blow through it now and it's like not working. And then we got like an incense. It was crazy, but like, I think it was like such a fun time. I had a great time.
We used one of our friends' vapes and we like turned it backwards so that when we blew through the vape, it would make smoke and like cover our dice in like a spooky, ethereal look.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a great time. I definitely agree. That was one of the moments that was like super intense, but it was a real moment of like, we can do this and this is something real.
Yeah, I think that was definitely that specific moment. I was like, I think when it all, like obviously the making and the whole journey was very exciting, but when it all settled in is when we did the giveaway. We actually like delivered the dice.
Yeah,
and
people earned our dice.
And then he was like, these are so sick. And I was like, wow, this is real. Someone actually has our dice in their hands and they're just as excited as we are. It's not just something in our heads anymore. So that for me was like, okay, This is real.
What's the story with the black cat? The cat as the logo. And this is
Can I start with this one?
Yeah, I think this is like the essence of why we really love this brand and why we really believe in it, is because it came from a really cool story. And I think that's what we can believe in as two people trying to run this thing.
So, because we actually came upon the slogan, if I'm not mistaken, we came across it like very early on. So I've always like, I don't know if anyone has heard this term before, but it's sort of, I imagine it's like one of those action movies, and then someone's like, you're gonna need luck on your side, and then like the main character is like turns around like very like badass, and it's like, I make my own luck, and it's like, oh my gosh. So I was like, why don't we take that idea, and since we're doing like dice and stuff, we can like spin it, right? So I was like, we like iterated on that, and then we came across like, I think it was you, I think you said like, like, what if we do like luck is crafted? And I was like, yo, dude, that's perfect. That's awesome. So we came across that very early on, and then we're like, okay, how do we like translate this little slogan we have into the logo? And that was particularly difficult. Went through so many iterations. The overview, I don't know if you want to.
No, I mean, I think that's totally it. Is we definitely found that the concept of like luck is crafted first, and we really fell in love with that idea because it has so many layers to its meaning. I mean, we're literally crafting the items that are driving the luck system in the games, like the TTRPGs. You know, it's a really awesome thing to be able to say that you're crafting luck. I mean, on top of that, we really loved the idea of giving our brand a bit of an edge by making a black cat, which is traditionally a symbol of bad luck, and really like flipping that into something that like, even with black cats around, you craft your own luck. And I think we also really felt a deep connection to that because both David and I have black cats at home. So it makes it an extra little bit of like home that's inside the brand.
And we saw like a lot of logos that there was a lot going on. There was like difficult to decipher like what's, you know, what is going on here. And I felt like kind of core to our brand is we really are fans of that like elegant simplicity. And I think the cat, how we like designed it, really brings that across, and it just looks very elegant, very sleek. So I was a big fan of that.
I mean, we also trying to distill feelings and emotions that we thought were really cool and put them into the brand to make it something that we really believed in and something that we really wanted to stand behind. And I think we've done a really good job, but it did take its sweet time, and we went through a lot of iterations and a lot of trials, a lot of conversations and back and forths. And it continues to be like that even now when we move into new products. And I think that's something that we've really found amazing about this process, is that it's everything we love about D&D and role-playing games, but it's just in a different role and a different kind of, a different role. It's just us role-playing as people who know how to run a business. Nice, let's see what else we got. What's one thing that you never want Folkwyn Hall to lose as it grows?
I think, which piggybacking off the previous question, we did a lot of thinking in the design, and one element of it that I think stuck with us, maybe because it was like the big thing back then, it was like the whole like dark fantasy vibe. And I think also because, again, we came off a 3-year Curse of Strahd campaign.
So we were in
that
the
was
dark
like,
fantasy, man.
Yeah, we were like deep inside the, you know, those vibes. But I really like the thought of like when we're looking at like keywords, like what really describes us. I think one that really, at least for me, really stuck with me was the word pensive. And it's sort of, I forget the exact meaning behind it. I don't know if you remember, but you know what? Let's look it up. Let me not spread some misinformation real quick. But
pensive describes being deeply quiet or dreamily thoughtful, often with a hint of sadness, melancholy, or serious contemplation.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. So like that like hint of like almost sad contemplation, but not like a sadness of losing something. There was almost like a longing in such a way. And I think that for us, that like feeling is something that I don't want to lose like throughout a lot of the things we do. In some way, it doesn't have to be like really overt. It can be something very subtle. But having that there, I think, is very core into why we did this in the first place. I really like that feeling of like, oh, like I'm really deeply thinking about this thing, and it evokes these emotions within me that I might not have exact words for, but it's, you know, it's almost like magical in a sense.
Yeah. I always imagine it. It really is born from the feelings that we had when our campaign finished. It's that longing for the fantasy that you shared with your friends. It's that like sad miss, like when you miss the things that you did with your friends and you miss the heroes that you guys were in your crazy RPG adventure. It's that feeling of like otherworldliness, that knowing that you could be somewhere else, and there's a longing for that otherworldly place. And I think those are really subtle feelings that we really like to bring into all of our things. And I think that's part of the reason that our brand is special, is because there's a lot of very cheery stuff in the world, whereas we like to really sink into that more grounded feeling of saying like, we long for the adventure, we long for the fantasy, and sometimes fantasy can be hard and scary and all the exciting things that we know. And I think that's an important part of it. So
yeah, I think that's why that word specific, rather than like a melancholy, because I think underneath this like quote unquote sadness, there is that hopefulness that I think is really the core. So yeah, I think that's, for me, an element.
It's that adventurous spirit.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So that's something I hope as we go on, and I really do want to go on. I don't think DICE is the end all and be all. At least I hope not. Who knows what the future holds.
Yeah.
But I really want to like expand, and whatever else we do, however else we can bring across and convey that magic. I think that holding on to those emotions and that feeling is really important.
Yeah, I mean, super well said. I think in the day-to-day life, everyone could use a bit of magic, and I hope that we can be the ones to share that with people in whatever way that is. But yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah.
So anyway, stay tuned for more stuff. Things are going to get better and better. We're sort of hoping to take people along for the process, and we hope that we can show you the journey that goes behind all of that, especially in times where things are so strange and so difficult to believe. We want to make it personal. We want to take people along for the journey and show you what goes into all of the stuff we do.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's it, guys. I'm not sure how we're going to do this, but this is Folkwyn Hall signing off.
Signing off.